Okay, video should be started. And I think we have about 5 minutes. Greetings, Bridge friends. We'll be starting in about another 5 minutes. Just kind of getting set up here. Hoping you're having a marvelous Monday. Things going on here in River City, that is for sure. Be back in a moment.
It's tango cable. It's clanging sleigh bells where we align.
Test 1 2 3.
Don't you know what first day inside?
Woohoo! Only 2-second delay. Test 1 2 3. Give me a thumbs up
Check
if you
test.
can hear me.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me, Michael?
Michael here, loud and clear. Lima Charlie, 555.
It's tango cable. It's clanging sleigh bells where we
5, 6, 3, 2.
Oh, for the phone number? It is 563 999 2185.
last year. It's still in my head. You kissed my hair and said what you say. Remember my fear. It's still in my head. I waited for so long, but you didn't care. Remember last year. It's still in my head. You kissed my hair and said what you said. You don't know heartache until you know now. You don't know sorrow until you're undone.
Hey, I think we've got Facebook.
Oh,
We can-
okay.
Apparently they changed our stream key. Don't you know? Just
Yeah, they're pretty good at that.
sneak on in on it. So I found a new stream key. I tried it, and it looks like it's working.
Okay, let me see if I cannot find this. Let's see. Five, four, three, two, one, and good morning out there in BridgeHands land. Welcome to Monday, September 28th, 2020. We will be speaking today about bidding problematic hands. With no further delay and no further mispronunciation, I introduce your host, Michael.
Thank you, Grace, and welcome to Marvelous Monday here at BridgeHands Lands. Sorry we didn't have a video for you on Friday, but you were in our hearts and prayers and thoughts, and so we are back here on Monday and geared and ready to go for new action. I hope you had a great weekend. And yes, problematic hands.
Problematic.
Easy for us to say.
Proved to be problematic to say.
There you go. So problems are just more opportunities, aren't they? Because when we have problematic hands, if you're playing duplicate, hey, everybody else has the same hands at other tables, and what will they do? And if you're just playing social bridge, then hey, after the hand is over, just shuffle all the cards quickly together and say, I don't think it was quite like that, partner. I think it was something else. But yeah, bridge is a learning game, and I guess that's the great thing when you get some hands that are more challenging. That's what separates the, how do you say that, the wheat from the chaff? The cream from the non-cream? I'm not sure what. But how do you deal with those things in your life, Grace?
One day at a time, one hand at a time, one moment at a time.
Ooh, that's kind of prophetic. So today's lesson, let's see, I think I have to do a little button over here to kind of get us started. Let's see, from current slide. Let's just go ahead and show that slide. What the heck? I think this screen will do it. There it is. And oh, I am so big. Let's see if I can get a smaller Michael. Well, that's getting there, but there's the dial-in number. But since it's there, let's do that. If you're interested in coming in and joining us today, we'd love to have you. So our call-in number is, Grace, hit it.
563-999-2185. Operators are standing by. One with no hair and one with a lot of hair.
Yeah, look at the one that's right by me there. There we go. There he is. That's moi. Mama said I'd always come out on top or something like that, and Grace is there with a nice happy face. So yeah, if you want to dial in today, you can even take more than one. That's okay too. But we'll go ahead and be soft and tender when we do these, so don't worry about what your thoughts are on some of these hands. Not a problem at all. This is all going to be for fun today. Kind of like a fun Friday, I guess, isn't it, Grace?
Almost. And we've got John here saying Patty's going to be here in about 10 minutes. Welcome.
Good, Patty. Good to have you here coming up. And John, good to have you with us again. Hope you had a great weekend. And so we are ready, loaded, and locked for bear today, as they say. So let's bare our souls and go ahead and get this show on the road. So the first hand, let's see, I think I want to go back over to the laptop. And over here on the Wacom tablet, get rid of Control B. Oops, got F1, got all these buttons to hit, and Control B. There it is. And let's go ahead and get to the Deep Finesse menu and mask them off for a second. Okay. Nobody's called in yet, I don't think, Grace, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with this, and we'll see where we're at. If somebody wants to dial in later, Grace will put the telephone number in the comments, and we'll be good to go.
I will. I'll be taking a quick little break to find out why our alarm keeps going off. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I guess I should say what's going on behind the curtains here is that we are in Sonoma County, and there was the glass fire up towards Calistoga, St. Helena, and the winds at night were reversed. So they're heading towards the ocean, which is not the usual condition. And so this fire is wanting to have embers going off in different areas. So my mother, 93-year-old mother, is with us now. I went and picked her up about midnight and brought her back down to my place. She was evacuated with some friends. 10,000, I think, was what left the area at that time. So, yeah, there were a lot of things going on last night. But hey, today we're here in the now, so we're going to live in the moment and be back at the table with you. So here we go. So the first hand. Let's see. I think I've got it where south I'm going to make the first call. And as you can see, it's a 4-4-3-2, 4-4 in the major suits. Well, I like that. 4, 5, 6, 7 points in spades, another 2 in the diamonds, and another 2. Queen 10 third. I like that. 11 points. So unless you're playing precision, they open 11-point hands. And they would open this, believe it or not, 1 diamond. 1 club is their big bid with 16 points or more. So they would say 1 diamond, which could be as short as 1 diamond. Now, how about that for a fake out? But hey, we're just playing standard American or 2/1, so our bid is easy. We just pass. Okay, to West. West is got a 4-3. Wait, it was 5-3-3-2. There was a 5th one there. I thought something was a little amiss. So 5-3-3-2, and they will also do a pass. So we've seen 11 and another 6 points. Where are the points here? North. Okay, there you go. So it's 7 and 8 and maybe 1 distribution. If you count it like me, I see 7 points in hearts and another 8. But I've got a 5th card in a good suit, so I'm going to give myself 1 distribution point. So that looks like about 16 playing points. So 15 to 17 points. Do you want to open 1 no trump? What could possibly go wrong? Do you ever think about your rebids? I hope you do. Well, if you find your partner bids if you end up in 3 no trump and you've got 2 doubletons, what's our shape? Oh, it's a 5-4-2-2. So we call that a semi-balanced hand. And on a semi-balanced hand, do you like to open those 1 no trump? I shouldn't say do you like to. Are you willing to open it?
Patty gives us a 1 club.
Okay, Patty, I think I'm with you, but we'll find out more about why. So semi-balanced hand can be a questionable. You know, and here's what is part of the lesson today. Besides the number of points, do you look where your points are? I hope you do. Your points are all working. That's the good news. The other side of it is you don't have any stoppers at all on the pointed suits, do you? It's just 2 worthless doubletons. So when you've got this big honor concentration, man, 1 no trump might work. You might say, oh, my partner's going to have both the other suits covered. And they may. Some of the times they will, and some of the times they won't. As Patty said, if you're feeling a little bit more conservative, you would open at 1 club, and after 1 spade by your partner, well, then, geez, are you going to bid 1 no trump, which shows 12 to 14 points, or are you going to make a reverse, 2 hearts, which shows 17 points or more? There's no easy bid here. So when you've got the hearts and the clubs in this configuration, it's not as easy if it was 4 spades, and I'll talk about that coming up soon. Stay tuned. So this is a problem hand here for North. So I don't know what you all are going to do, but let's say in this case is that 1 no trump. Anybody's got any thoughts? Type them in there. Or start with 1 club.
We have a 1 club right now.
1 club so far.
Anyone else?
Okay.
Going once. Going twice. Going with Patty
okay,
and 1
Patty,
club.
1 club it is. 1 club. So going back to the, well, we'll look at East hand. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No bid there. Back to South. So, oh, well, we wanted to open. So, yeah, we're going to bid our majors up the line. So we can do 1 heart.
Yep, John's going to do a 1 heart. He called it, okay, I'm not familiar with this word, A3 seat?
At
Third seat. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so back up to North. Well, hey, thank goodness. Woohoo, looks like we got a major fit. That's what we wanted. Yes, the golden fit in the majors. So what do we want to bid? We want to bid 2.5 hearts? No, 3 hearts. Yeah, 2 hearts would say 12 to 14 points, and we have more than that, don't we? we've got a good 16 now. So, and our partner in the south says 4 hearts, and life is very comfortable. So yeah, 1 club was great. If it happened to be a 1 no trump opener, not a problem. South says 2 clubs happily when it has 2 4-card major, and the north says 2 hearts, and south says 4 hearts. And so I hope you all understand, what's the problem here? There are no problems yet, but I hope you were at least thinking about that. If you ended up in 3 no trump, how would that work for you if you don't have a 4-4 fit? And that's where we're going to be going next. The plot thickens or sickens, I'm not sure which, but let's take a look at some other permutations and see how these hands can be not always in the rosy lane. You might say, well, you know, I'm sorry, Michael, I just can't deal with this. This is just the way I'm going to bid all the time. And you know, bless you. I hope that works for you enough of the time. But at least we should have an awareness of what some of the other complications could be. So we're going to start off next with number 2A. I think I've got 3 permutations, or maybe even 4 permutations of the second variation here. And let's go ahead and just show south again. Let's rewind these. Try it. Rewind. There we go. So south should be having 11 points on every one of these, I do believe. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Grace, yes.
Barry asked if responder has bid one spade, you would rebid question reverse or 1 no trump?
Excellent question. And remember, all of our points are working. This is a good 16. And we'll talk in a little bit about how many points you need to make a reverse. Right on. Thanks for the softball pitch, Barry. I hope I can do a good job of answering it for you. So put a placeholder for that, Grace.
Alrighty, placeholder.
What happens then when you
Robert's
going to
pass.
Yeah. So,
Welcome, Robert.
Okay, so we're going to pass in the south. Good. Agreed. 11 points. Nothing extraordinary. In these Queen Doubleton and Diamonds, we're not sure. So north is going to say, oh, this looks the same, doesn't it? No, this time it's it's the red suits. Okay, so when we have the spade suit, and would you rather have, if you have a 5-4-2-2 with 16 points, you know, with distribution, would you rather have it with 4 spades or 4 hearts? What do you think? Does it matter? It sort of does matter. You know, if you are saying, well, if I opened 1 club and my partner bid 1 heart, now I can comfortably bid 1 spade. I could have up to 18 points when I just bid 1 spade. If I have 19 or more out, I should jump, strong jump shift. But yeah, but if I had the hearts and my partner bid the spades, now I've got to come in at the 2 heart bid if I had 4 hearts. And that's where we're making the reverse, which shows a strong hand. And the question that Barry asked, great one, is how strong is strong? We'll get to that. So I guess what I'm trying to say is when you have this semi-balanced hand with worthless doubletons, you know, all the honors are in the black suits here, you feel more comfortable with this hand because your rebid is easy. When your partner bids 1 heart, you can bid 1 spade. You're not having to show a strong or weak hand, and you get a chance to get more information from partner. Yes, Grace?
John says spade and then clubs. Third seat can bid 4-card major, especially with both primary honors.
Yeah, with both primary honors, both times, and the jack. You know, if you might had jack doubleton in one of these suits, you know, and if you had 4-4-3-2, that's a whole nother thing. We'll get to the 4-4-3-2 hands a little bit, but we're still the semi-balanced 5-4-2-2 problem hands. So we like the fact that we have 4 spades. So in this case, if you bid 1 no trump, well, bad things could happen if your partner then bids Stayman and you bid spades and they go 3 no trump and your partner has no stoppers in the diamond suit. That's not going to be a happy day. So let's take a look at this. Opening 1 no trump and your partner says, let me put that down, 1 no trump, and your partner says 2 clubs, and you say, yeah, 2 spades, and your partner in the south, let's take a look at the south hand, says, well, you know, I've got 11 points, And queen double 10 and diamonds and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm just going to bid 3 no trump, man. No problem here. We got more than 10 points. So with 9 points, you'd probably still say, I'll do that. And North says, okay, pass. And when we take a look at all 4 hands, this is not going to be very happy, is it? So,
we get a uh-oh.
Uh-oh, yeah, exactly. So
Uh-oh.
we'll go ahead and erase the bids, and we'll just have a little opening lead, 6 of diamonds. Yeah, let's talk about the opening lead by East. Well, you might have been thinking about the spade, top of your sequence. It is an honor sequence. But when you heard North say they showed the spade suit, and South, ergo, since they didn't end up in 4 spades, South then has to have 4 hearts with 10 points or 11 points, right? So, so we're going to open the card that we have the ace in, not the one with the king that we know South has 4 in that suit. So we start with the 4th best, the 6 of diamonds. And over in the West, they say, okay, lowest of equals, and you're not going to play the king, obviously, when the jack or the 10 will do, so you start with the 10. You could come back with the queen. I don't know. Is your partner leading 4th best? Does your partner lead low from 4, or is this just with a junk suit of 3? That's important, isn't it? So if you play that top of nothing with a garbage suit, the old Boston, bottom of something, top of nothing, then okay. If your partner plays low from, like a junk suit, now we're not sure if we should play the king or if your partner has the ace. So anyway, this West says, I'm going to play the king, damn it. And next, what do you want to play?
Robert says, don't block the diamonds.
Don't block the diamonds, and let's look at that right now. So as you can see, let's go back one. Okay. If you were to play the jack of diamonds, you have a loser play. See that little L in red? If you play one of the other diamonds, this kind of show their values, whatever. If you play the 5 or the 4, you're going to go your partner's ace, and they're going to come back to you. So, you're not completely out of the woods yet. So North, if you went to 3 no trump, maybe they're going to block themselves. Sometimes the opponents will do this, and if they were playing carefully and have good partnership agreements, if leading 4th best does show from something. In this case, it would have to be the ace, because West, you've got all the rest of the stuff and can see the queen in the dummy. But yeah, it wouldn't be a happy sight if you played the queen, because or jack, excuse me, because we could pitch something here. And, I'll take it with the ace. Well, yeah, good. But the eight's not going to get back to the other hand. So you can always hope that the opponents will fumble the hand. As the opponents, be careful with these types of things. These things can bite you. So, okay, that's 2A. Now we're going to go to 2AA, I believe, and see a little different variation on this. And so, identical hands. But as we saw, it all depends on this. I think that is the same one, actually. So I guess I do want to go to taking a look at it when you've got a different bidding sequence. So let's do that. I think that's going to be to be or not to be. Okay. As you can see, this time, East, you got a little different hand, don't you? You've got the same values, but you've got Ace 8, 7. Would you lead low from a 3-card suit? Well, if you have nothing better, then I suppose is that, yeah, you would lead low from a 3-card suit if that's your best lead. Sometimes, let's say that I don't have the king of hearts. Well, if they just barely got to 3 no trump, then I think my partner's got even more points. And if I've only got, like, say, a queen of diamonds in my hand, I'll probably play it. I don't like to lead a king or a queen opposite no trumps, but yeah, I want to show my partner, I've only got 1 or 2 points, and this is it. So now it's up to you. I know that you've got the rest of the points. So anyway, they're going to lead a diamond. Yes, Grace?
John says make 5 clubs, question mark, also 4 spades.
We'll get to that, John. You are thinking ahead. Good for you. So, okay. So you play a 7 of diamonds, And over in the West, I hope you're thinking of the good old rules. A guide, the rule of 11, which says take your partner's value, 7, subtract it from the rule of 11, and there's 4. So there's 4 outstanding cards that are higher than that opening card, the 7. So what would the 4 be? Well, we've got 1, 2 in the west hand, and we see 1 in the south, so there's should only be 1 other outstanding if my partner led 4th best. Well, in this case, I guess they only had 3, and there were the other 2 rather than 1. So, yeah, it was an imperfect lead, but it was still the best lead, so we shouldn't be too hard on East, because the rule of 11 only works when it's from a 4th best. So, at any rate, once again, now I guess that West, you've got to think about this opening lead, or I should say the next lead coming back. And if you were to lead the king to smother the queen this time, it's not going to be a pretty situation, because if they take the ace and come back the 8, your values are less. So unless you play a low diamond, not the king to smother the queen, if that was your thoughts, it won't work out well. So yeah, that would take a lot of trust on this one to say, okay, I will lead low. My partner led low from something, so I'm going to trust my partner, and I'm not going to this time play the king. So you see how some of these times is that you might say, yeah, we are lucky if we made 3 no-trump contracts. In fact, if we take a look at it, in that time, once they would get their first 3 tricks, or they would in the East-West, that is, we would get all the rest of them. So we have... 4 spades, because there's the other 2, and we've got 4 clubs, and so and the ace of hearts, of course. So yeah, in fact, do you tend to value this 10-9? It probably is worth something, isn't it? It just was, if your partner's got Jack 3rd, or the queen in this case, depending on where the Jack is, not a bad holding. And you see what else is going on with the north hand. It's not a 5-4-2-2 this time. Yeah, unfortunately, you've got all your honors in the 2 suits, the 4 card suits, not or 5. But I would feel much more comfortable opening it 1 club and rebidding 1 spade in this situation, because it is the spade suit after all. It's not the heart suit. So I know there were some questions that John and others are probably thinking about, but how about if we're in clubs or something else? Let's take a look at some of those. And since we're just looking at the hand right now, you can see that you got pretty much mirrored values here. So you've got 2 diamond losers, no club losers. You've got from the standpoint of North's hand, you got 1 heart loser, and that would be it. So you've got 3 losers. So sorry, no, you're not going to make it. You don't have a 5-card suit to get the extra trick there. So yeah, that won't work. And for spades, well, it's not usual that it's going to be 3-3 against you. Wouldn't that be nice if that was the way life is? 48 or 50% of the time, if you will, it's going to be a 4-2 split, hopefully not 5-1 against you, but that's what happens half of the time. Only 1/3 of the time is at the 3-3. So yeah, it's still kind of a little bit tenuous there. So at any rate, let's go ahead and take a look at the next one now. That was, I think, what were we at? On 2B, I think that one was. And the lead, anyway, it would be, I guess, the lowest from your honor sequence. And they go up with the Jack. And here again, if they play a low diamond to your ace, and then how do you get back to their hand? To the ace. And back. And you can see you get back to the king and 2 others. So not going to make 3 no trump in... I guess if they were 4-4, hey, that could happen less than half the time, then you would be okay. So you kind of get the feel, I'm hoping, is that when you have all your honor concentration in two suits, even though it feels like it's one no trump, these are a bit of a problematic hand. So I'm not trying to scare anybody, but they say the difference between an optimist and a pessimist is a pessimist is someone who used to be an optimist, but now they're equipped with information. They're equipped with knowledge. So I think what I'm trying to say is we want to have situational awareness. Self-awareness is great, but sometimes just think about the situation, and that includes your rebid. So on that last hand, just to kind of go back to it, just to kind of recap some of the features, so I didn't give enough time on it there. The difference here is that, let's rewind. This time it is a 4-4-3-2. As opposed to the semi-balanced 5-3-3-2. But it still does have this problem with the honor concentration in two suits, and we should at least have some awareness of that. And as I was saying, I like that it's not three little diamonds. If it's Queen 10 third, I have a much better chance to set that up depending on my partner's configuration. So I'd rather it was a Jack third. And then if my partner's got Queen double 10 in this situation, well, yeah, they can take the first two cards in the suit as long as I don't break the suit. We are okay. So let's take a look at that a little bit more. So, okay, so I think we were on to load deal from file to C. And I'm going to go ahead and mask these for a moment. And I think you know what South's going to do. 11 points. Ooh, wait a second. Are we? Oh, rewind. There we go. Okay. It's a 4-4-3-2, the 11-point special. And over to North. And okay, this time we indeed have that Jack third. I don't like to count Jacks as a point when it's a 3-card suit unless my partner bid the suit. That's just me, as you know. You may not feel quite the same way, but I'm a little cautious. If I'm playing an imp game and we're vulnerable or something, you know, maybe I'll do it a little differently, but in a match point game where I really want to make the contract, I'm a little careful with these types of hands. But here, what's my other suit? Oh, it's spades. Yeah, I like it when it's spades because I can, if I open it in a minor, I can always come back in a spade, where if I open it one no trump, that's something I can't do. In this case, where the Jack third, I'm a little bit more comfortable making a one no trump with this. I do have 15 points, and that Jack is questionable, so I don't feel quite as bad in this situation where it's looks a little bit more semi-balanced. And when your partner in the South has the Queen, yeah, baby, that makes you feel a lot better, doesn't it? So if the bidding was to go, let's just put them all open. Pass, one no trump. 2 clubs, because we have the 4-card heart suit. 2 spades. 3 no trump. And, okay, they're going to lead the famous diamond suit. Did you want to say something, Grace?
Yes. Drury allows opening 4-card major in 3rd seat, John says.
That's a good one, Sean. I think if you remember our last lesson, this was for the Premium Ultra and Patreon members, is that's true if you have 3 good honors. Ace, King, Jack, Ace, King, Queen, 4th. Yes, with just Ace 4 times, I'm not so fond of that. So yeah, I think you ought to have 3 pretty good honors. If you say, hey, Ace, Queen, 10, 4th, I think that's enough, Michael. Yeah, if you're good with your finesses, if they all work for you, if your right-hand opponent kind of showed some of your cards, no, don't look at them. But yeah, you'd want to have 3 honors, John, but not just 2. But your mileage may vary, so I understand where you're coming from. So at any rate, okay, so in this case, it's going to go 1 no trump, the 2 clubs, the 2 spades, the 3 no trump, and pass, pass, pass. And once again, the smart East players are going to say, I'm going to lead my diamond, even though it's not fourth best. And, you know, it's kind of tough over here for the East. Let's kind of go back to that. Let's say it was are you going to go with from the 9-10 king? What are you going to do? Well, if you want to go by the rule of 11, 7 subtract from 11, you got 4 left. You've got 1, 2, 3 in your hand, and there's 1 in the south, 4. Hey, you've got all of them. So you assume partner has the fourth best, and that would be a logical assumption. But it turned out, in this case, with the jack third, well, you can see, as long as they break the diamond suit, you know, it's not going to matter. If you want to go up with the ace or king, fine. Come back with a jack. Oh, how can this be? Wouldn't you want to play low? What is going on here? Oh, first hand, excuse me. I see what's going on. Excuse me. I had a misstatement there. Okay, so if they go up with the king, you were going to play low. And, yeah, they can come back in the diamond suit again. You were going to play low. Don't go high. And they can take the ace. But if you've got a split queen jack and one of them is a 3-card suit, if they break the suit, you can always have a stopper as long as you don't have to break the suit first. So, yeah, this is a hand, I guess, where, you know, if you value the jack third as avoiding the problematic bid, you're fine when your partner has the complementary secondary honor. That is, in this case, the queen. In the other case, if you got queen third and they have the jack doubleton, fine also. So we hope for these types of combinations. And if you're one who lives on hope, then I guess I'm just hoping my partner always has a secondary honor or a primary honor. So I wanted to be sure that we at least covered some scenarios where these problem hands aren't as much a problem. So I know somebody asked about some of these reverses. I think that's where we're heading for next. Okay, so I'll just leave them all 4 shown this time. And once again, south, this time they have a 5-4-2-2 themselves, don't they? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Man, you might almost want to say, I want to give myself a distribution point and open at 1 club, because you've got 11 plus, is this a +1 for this 5th club? I don't know. Hey, you know, if it was ace king 5 times, sure. If it was ace queen 5 times, yes. If it was ace jack 10 5 times, yes. But queen 10 5 times, I would have to look at my other suits. And this, I don't feel real strong about the diamond suit, so I'm relying on the spade suit to have enough entries. So I think I would pass that hand. I'd probably take a couple extra seconds. Hopefully I wouldn't take too long and have the director called on me. So I would actually pass that hand. Over to the north hand. We'll get to them in a second. Grace has got a question.
Okay, well, first John says that the rule of 20 opens hand, and Robert says, but queen doubleton is bad.
That's what I would say, yeah. So if you go by rule of 20s with, you know, let's say a singleton king and singleton queen, good for you, you know. But I don't think that all rule of 20s count the same, you know. It's like your honors, when you're doing rule of 20, I've mentioned this before, your honors should be in those suits. If you've got 2 5-baggers, if you've got, like, say, with a singleton, or let's say doubleton jack or a singleton queen or something like that, do not count that towards your rule of 20. So at any rate, it's a good topic, though, and your mileage may vary, and that's why we're doing these problematic hands. So I guess that in this situation for north, here we go, 5-4-2-2, and you've got 7 plus 8 plus 1 for the distribution. And man, I wish it was the spade suit. I could open 1 club and have an easy rebid if my partner has the hearts. But in this case, it's do I make a reverse? This is the problematic hand where you have 4 hearts and 5 clubs. In other words, the exact shape where you put the equal symbols in between them. 2, 4, 2-5. This is the nasty one right here, because if you open one no trump, you get all your honors in the rounded suits. You've got no stoppers in the pointed suits, spades and diamonds, and this is a bummer. So the question was asked earlier by Barry, do you make a reverse? Well, and the question is how many points you need for reverse. I think most people would say it's 17 to 21. Could even be a bad 22 if you've got a singleton honor, I suppose. 17 to 21, you make a reverse. And if your partner makes a peep, if you've got the top end, 19 to 21, you're going to go 3 no trump or something. But 16 points. This might be a 16-point hand where I would forgive you, forgive my partner, and even forgive myself. I figure I have a reasonable defense to say this is the 16-point hand. The one, the only, where I would say, yeah, I would be okay doing a reverse. Is it guaranteed to make? No. If I open 1 no trump, is it guaranteed to make 3 no trump? No. Maybe they'll fumble the hand, they'll get blocked, or they'll be 4-4. You know, I don't know. But there's hands that we should at least be aware of, and maybe do like this. Before it's your bid, you know, get your drink out. Pick your cards back up. Oh, excuse me. And be thinking about what you want to do here. So let's say you feel that this is adequate to reverse. I think it probably is. So you open, let's get all this stuff off the screen, a pass, and 1 club. Okay. Your partner bids 1 heart. It would be like that first hand I showed you. No problemo. You're going to end up where you should belong. But your partner now, sure enough, the rule of anticipation always makes the hard bid for you, bids 1 spade. And we're going to do a reverse of 2 hearts. That is, if this is the 1 level, and this is the 2 level, and we're, you know, making a couple bids down here, and then our rebid is in a higher ranking suit at a 2 level, that is 2 hearts, we're saying we've got 17 points or more. And I think that's the lesser of the evils here. Yes, Grace?
John says that bidding has some poker qualities, a little bluff now and then.
There is that. Yeah, sometimes when you just confidently going 3 no trump, and they don't lead away from there, in this case, ace jack 4 times. They thought, oh man, I know they've got maybe the king queen of diamonds, so I'm going to leave my ace jack and I'm going to just try another suit because I've got, you know, kind of a sequence here in hearts, and I know that North is bid hearts, or, you know, I'm going to bid the spades because I like my spade honors here, ace 10 9 8, and so you maybe you're poker playing, and so there is some hands that are just not certain. You just want to do as well or better than everybody else says. Yes, Grace?
Robert says he'd bid 3 clubs, but then he always does bluff his partner. And I want to know, where's our queen of 3 no trump, Bernice?
There you go. So, okay, so in this case it was a pass and 1 club. And in South, no, do not jump to 3 clubs. That would be invitational, but you want to find a major fit first. So you're going to bid 1 spade. In the North, okay, we're going to a higher ranking suit at a higher level. We're the one to break the barrier into the 2 level, showing 17 points or more. This is the best we can do. And after the reverse, South is like, well, hey, I'm not chopped liver. You know, I've got 11 points, and my partner's got 17 or more. We'll just go to 3 no trump, I guess. Well, you've got that queen doubleton of diamonds, and you know your partner's got the hearts. So, is there a bid that you and your partner could have here? You could just go 3 no trump. If your partner's got, you know, jack third of diamonds like we saw in the previous one, oh, then all is well. Or maybe a ace or king. They got 17 points or more. But if you said, well, how about if I bid the 4th suit at the 3 level? Well, wait a second. 4th suit, or past hand, 3 diamonds. What in the world would 3 diamonds mean, do you suppose, to your partner? Well, it sounds like they're a little hesitant to bid 3 no trump to me. And I think like a Western Q bid, this would be asking, maybe the opponent's in another auction they bid diamonds, and now we come in with 3 diamonds later on. I think that says we're asking, partner, I want you to be playing. If you've got king doubleton and diamonds, or if you've got a stopper, jack third or something like that, I've got a half stopper. What you got over there, big girl, big boy, whichever. A small woman, I think we should say. But at any rate, so I think that 3 diamonds might be a very useful bid, a 4th suit forcing at the 3 level. Yes, Grace?
John agrees. He says 3 diamonds is asking for a stopper.
Yeah, I hope that your partner who's done a reverse does not think, oh, this is to play or something like that. No, it wouldn't be that. So, yeah, this would be like the good old, if you know the Western Q bid, which is QCUE or QUE, whichever you prefer. I think most people do CUE bid. And when it's at the 3 level, 3x, it normally is an ask. So I think that would be a great bid to use here. I don't know if you've ever thought about your partner and what it would mean, but if you do this to your partner and they get confused and they just pass, do not use this bid. Just go to 3 no trump. But if you feel like my partner, we play Western Q bids and they seem like they're clever enough to know that it would apply in this situation, it's a good bid. If you just go to 3 no trump, well, they're going to get the first 5 diamond tricks. Sorry about that.
John has a question. Isn't Western a repeat of opponent's suit?
It is, but in this situation, it's Western-like because the opponents have not bid. So it plays, and what I'm trying to say is, let's talk about Mike Lawrence and Eddie Cantor. And they're getting ready to play in the Bermuda Bowl together. They were on the Aces team, and if you'll recall, Eddie Cantor had these, thick pages. He wasn't as much as Eric Rodwell in terms of having 700 pages of their precision system with Jeff Mexroth, but he had a lot of pages. And Mike Lawrence, after a while, says, I could give you like 10 pages that would cover 95% of the things that will happen rather than have all these nuanced bids. And it is like, oh, okay. So you don't want to have what Eddie teased himself. He was always the great to say about being the goat of his jokes. He said, you don't want to give somebody your dreaded manila envelope with all types of pages. So I guess what I'm saying, John, is that if we understand Western Q bid and we can use that in other situations as though it was Western Q bid, and I guess when we bid, if you look at Augie Boehm's book, 3 No Trump in Depth, it was a great book. I really enjoyed it. And he says, when you're bidding the 4 suit at the 3 level, that's asking for a stopper, and you usually have half a stopper yourself. So I'm saying it would also apply here. Okay, enough of that. Anyway, so going back to it here in this hand is that you would now say, let's go ahead and put the auction down here. A pass, a 1 club, a 1 spade, ugh, a 2 heart reverse, a 3 diamond. Well, okay, you're in the hot seat over here in North. How do you feel about showing your half stopper? You knew I have no half stopper in diamonds. And if you're in synchronicity with your partner, you would say, okay, I'm going to have to bid something else. So I could bid 3 hearts. Would my partner think that I'm 6-5? Because you have to be longer. Don't think that you can use a reverse with the same values. You don't have like 5 hearts and 5 clubs, and just because you've got 17, 20 points or whatever that you bid the clubs first. No, you have to be longer in your first suit.
We're hearing 4 clubs coming in.
Yeah, so I think what we're doing is say 4 clubs. 4 clubs. And now I guess if you're in an imps game or something like that, you're saying, man, my queen of diamonds doesn't feel like it's worth 2 points, so get that out of my head. I've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, I got an extra point or so for the doubletons or the long clubs. So it'd be a guess. If you want to just play 4 clubs, fine. If you want to go 5 clubs, well, this is a pretty lucky hand here. Let's take a look at it. I think, do I have it in 5 clubs? Let me take a look and see what I have for the contract here. No, that was 3 no trump first off. So in 3 no trump, they lead the 7. And if they lead the ace or the jack, they're going to unblock their hand. But if they play the 8 of diamonds, oops. What are you going to do? You're going to go back, but let's see, pitch a heart here. Ace, okay, we're trying to unblock so bad. We're trying to unblock, but no, you cannot unblock it. So yeah, you could have a situation like that where they fumble it. And you think it would be fumbled? I mean, if it was fourth best, a 7, over here in the west, count those cards. Let's put up our 11 there. And we're subtracting from the 7. There are 4 left. And how many do we have of the 4? 1, 2, 3. How many are there? What's wrong here? 7, 11, 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. So they're all spoken for. So you know your partner's got to, if they're not leading from a 3-card suit, they've got the rest. So you'd say, well, what do they have that would be above the 7? Well, 8 would have to be one of them, wouldn't it? So they have the 7, and they would have to have the 8. We've got the 9 and the 10. They would have to have the jack, and they would have to have the ace. So we better kind of play this a little slowly, not get in a rush on this. So you can see all 4 hands, but you should be kind of thinking about this as defenders. So let's say they go low, and we think, okay, they've played the 7. So they're going to have the ace, jack, 8. I've got to keep that king for sure. So, okay, king is going to be my entry. So, yeah, I'm just going to play low now. Well, maybe I'll play the 6 so it looks like a little bit more. And okay, you better be thinking about what you want to do here now in the east. You play the 8, all is lost. But you'd be thinking, I need to start thinking about the unblock. So I'm going to go with the ace. And okay, now you're in good shape, whether you play the jack or the 8. So they're going to overtake it and have an entry. But we were going to take a look, of course, at the other side of this is what about if we're in the 5 clubs? Load deal from file.
Do we have the numbers that show what the percentages are on that? John says 50-50 chance.
That's a great question. I will try to do an estimation. I haven't run any simulations on it, which I have on others, but in this case, let's go ahead and modify that contract to play in 5 clubs, not 4. And that's going to be in the north. And as we can see, no matter what the lead is that you're in good shape. What would you lead against 5 clubs over in the east? I wonder. Would you lead your singleton club? Don't normally like to lead singleton trumps myself. I think that's about as bad as leading an unprotected ace. But, you know, they are at the 5 level. That might be a possibility. If they were in slam and you wanted to lead the ace of diamonds, assuming that, well, north has got at least 2 because they started with a no trump, let's say, or, you know, in that situation, then okay. But in this case, I'm not sure. I don't like leading away from an unprotected ace here. But since they avoided no trump, I kind of feel like my partner must have the king just by listening, not going just by the rule of rote. I don't think they have the king, or else they're not very good bidders. That's what I'm trying to say. So I might lead the ace of diamonds. I don't think I'd want to underlead it if, you know, the opponents have a singleton king in the south hand or some damn thing like that. Excuse me, darn thing like that. So, yeah, but you can see that you can make 5 clubs. Yes, Grace?
John and Robert are having quite the discussion on this theory. John brings up, at the 5 level, do aggressives lead? ? Bidding show diamond weakness.
Yeah, that's a wonderful question. We should spend a moment talking about that. And so when the opponents are not a short suit, we do not have a really long suit. I'm not going to lead away from an unprotected ace if I've got ace 7 times. You know, gets roughed in one hand and then I promote something in the other. It's like, no. But if you've got like suit lengths of this sort where they're 4-4-4, is it? Yeah, 4-4-4-1. Then if they're at the 6th level, if they go up to 6 clubs, yeah, and they haven't shown, voids, if depends on their cue bidding and those types of things. But if someone, did a minor would bid or something like that, I think that, okay, it looks like they've got some cards in each of the suits, then 6 clubs, I'll lead my unprotected ace 4 times of a suit, or ace jack 4 times of a suit. If, like I say, it's a long suit, I'm kind of getting concerned with leading away from unprotected ace. At the 5 level, 5 clubs. Yeah, it's not a bad time to do it at the 5 level also. Your partner's got the king, and maybe you set up maybe you got a split king-queen on another suit. And so I have no problem if you want to lead an unprotected ace and they're at the 5 of a minor, or 5 of a major as far as that goes too. Now obviously it gets into things as like, do you trust the opponent's bidding? If you've got good opponents you're playing against, they know what they're doing when they don't end up in 3 no trump and they're in 5 diamonds. If you feel they're weak players though, or if you yourself are weak players, then the opponents, maybe they'll vary in terms of what they'll do. So there's no 100% guarantee. But to answer your question, yeah, I will lead an unprotected ace when the opponents are at the 5 level, unless I think I have a really long suit where it's going to get roughed. And that's at least my philosophy. And I think it works more than 50% of the time. Yes?
John adds to that, if do not lead the ace, then could lose tricks if declarer has 2 suits they run.
Yeah, and so remember the different types of leads, and you can go back and look at some of our lessons if you're a member, or see parts of them even if you're not a member, bit on opening leads. But there is the passive leads, which can include leading a trump, and the active leads, or maybe even some of them are really active. You might say that they're aggressive leads. So yeah, if it happens to be where it calls for a more active lead, where they have a 2-suiter based upon the bidding, you're oftentimes good for an extra trick or two when you've got a 2-suiter, especially if you've got like singletons or voids. You can sometimes with 24 points make a slam. It's like, what? 24? Don't you need 33? No, not if you've got length and roughing powers. So good questions. So let's see. Yeah, so as we can see that in this case, we can make 5 clubs, 2 hearts, lose 2 diamonds. But because the king of spades is on side, that 50-50 chance, yeah, you're going to go down in no trump and you're going to make 5 clubs. Now, I'm not trying to by any means recommend, try to bid 5 of the minor. It's a fun thing to do. Now, it's kind of a last resort. But the point I'm trying to stress here on problems hands, let's kind of just go back to the big picture, and that is that when you have these really awkward hands where you don't have the spade suit, when you have the spade suit, it could go, 1 club, 1 heart, and you could do 1 spade. But when you've got the heart suit, the clubs and the hearts, that's the bad combination, because now you do 1 club, past hand of course, or not, 1 spade, and you've got to go 2 hearts, which says you've got 17 or more. And you've got this really good honor concentration, I think it's better. If you think that they're going to be 4-4, if you think that they're going to get blocked, maybe good things will happen. I can't promise you one or another, but I can promise you that when I have this configuration, it's not my fave. Yes, Grace.
John has a question. How do you evaluate risk level imps versus MPS?
There is some formulas, and I can give you some more specificity, write down the exact mathematical number. And obviously, if it's an imps game, you want to take more risk. If you're in a rubber bridge game, do you take more risk there? Yes, you do. Because let's just take a look at the rubber bridge. You win one game. And you're now starting the second game. You got 2 more to make the rubber. And what's the chances that they'll win the next 2? It's 25%. Because they have to win the second and the third. So if it's a 500 rubber or a 700 rubber, you know, it's, you got to take some of these points and give you attribution. So if you're even in a rubber bridge game, that first game is worth more than just the 100 points. So the values are there. And if you're playing an imps game, you know, if you're getting a 400 non-vulnerable, a 420 in a major suit, or maybe it's a 600 or a 620, yeah, you want to stretch just a little bit more if you've got a vulnerable game. So those are all considerations in terms of, you just don't take a look at the odds, you take a look at the reward, the risk reward that you get for doing that. And so when Harold, yeah, I had to think about it, Harold Vanderbilt came up with the idea of vulnerability in the 1930s. I think he was even on a sailing ship when he came up with the idea. And say, hey, we see it in some other games. If you play backgammon or some other games, you know, you have the doubling cube for doubles and things, and you get extra points in some games. So he said, let's have that in bridge. You know, now that we're going from a contract bridge to an auction bridge where you've got the idea of more risk reward, it makes the game a little bit more interesting. And I think that's one of the great parts about the game. So to answer your question is that I don't know we can always say the difference between a 45 and a 37% game, you know, in terms of what the odds were for those types of things. But I recall the numbers. It turns out that it's about 45 and 30, let's say 7%. So if it's equal, I'm going to have to say this word carefully, vulnerability, equal vul, then I think, yeah, if you have a chance for a 45% game, you take it. If you have a favorable vulnerability, even though you only have a 37%, it's still worth it because you get the extra points. So I'm not suggesting that you can take a look at your hand and say, oh, this hand's 40%. But I mean, if it turns out that you've got a 9-card suit, you're 5 and 4. And you can tell by the bidding, you know, I have 5, I know my partner has 4, then what's the chance of it being 2-2? It's pretty common odds. It's a 40% chance. And it's a 50% that it's going to be a 3-1. So, okay, so if I've got a vulnerable, then it's worth whatever it is you're attempting to do, get a slam or whatever it happens to be. Well, you get more points there. But those are the types of things you could be thinking about. Or do I need 1 or 2 finesses? 1 finesse, yeah, 50%. If I need 2 finesses, well, I can make one of the 2. So it's 76% chance, or if I go 75, that's fine by me. Yes, Grace? She's saying, oh, it's getting close to time. Yes, it is. So I hope that is good. I think we're just about there, and let's see what else I have in store. So I guess, let's see, I think I have 3B, maybe it's the last one. Just having so much fun here. Oh, 3C it looks like it says here. Yes, okay. So as always, South is going to be doing the old Passerini. No bid by West. North has got the dreaded 4 hearts, 5 clubs. And so 1 club. And, yep, 1 spade. Okay, kind of a marginal reverse with that 16 points, but hey, it's the best I can do. And so they go 3 diamonds, and as we saw, 4 clubs and 5 clubs. And I don't know if I have much else on this hand. Let me just kind of get this out of the way. Yeah, I think we've already done this one. Might be a little bit different cards, though. And since, yeah, it is different cards. Now I remember, yes, there's always got like a little extra nugget in these lessons here. So the question is, what is the opening lead? Well, let's take a look. In this case, it doesn't really matter, it appears. But I had another hand. I don't know if I saved it, but it turns out if you lid the ace of diamonds and then they took the king of diamonds, you do get another trick somewhere else. Apparently, it's not this hand. But I did have one concocted that just showed that very point, which is that if you were to lead the ace, it seems like we shouldn't lead an unprotected ace. But when they're at the 5 level, on some hands, it will work. One thing I will say about this, though, is that if you're playing with an advanced player, there's one other kink in the armor. And it was Augie Boehm's father. I can't remember his first name. Anyway, it was one of the Boehm, father of Boehm. And he had the invention that he thought he got from somebody else, Ken Lebensold, but he thought his name was Liebensol. So that's what he called the convention, Liebensol. So if you and your partner are advanced in playing Liebensol, you say, well, okay, we know 2 places where it's played, but is it played on after a reverse? Because we talked about this reverse scenario. So, you know, the pass, 1 club, 1 spade, 2 hearts. Do you play it on in that situation? And if you play Liebensol 3 ways, there's 3 general ways you can play it, and one of them is with the reverses, then now you're allowed to make a special bid to say, I'd prefer to sign off from my perspective. Now, you wouldn't, but just be aware is that for those people like Liebensols, ask your partner, well, when do we play it? Do we play it opposite the no trump interference? Do we play it in when your partner has made a takeout double after the opponents have made a 2-level preempt? And then, okay, but how about this third case on reverses? Is it played there? And it would affect perhaps the bidding in this scenario, but I won't get into that. Just something to be aware of for you advanced players there who are asking about this. So I think that is it. Does anybody else have any questions? Grace, I am stretching my welcome. It's gone past 11. Anything else?
Are there any questions out there before we sign off here on this Monday? Okay, I don't see anything else coming in. John does say follow with, I'm not sure if there's a typo, after 2 no trump, then what? After 2 no trump, then what? It's a question, I guess.
Oh, okay, on that auction there?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I will cover that then, since John is advanced, and you can kind of see is that what they might be thinking of here. So let's bring that up. So it was pass, 1 club, 1 spade, 2 hearts. Okay, and you, in this case, let's say you don't have this beautiful south hand. I know, we like all those spoons, I know, but let's say that it's more the typical one that we get. Enter, partial, I want to modify the deal. There we go, okay. So I'm not going to have myself quite this generous points. I'm going to take away this ace and give it to this Wes, and they're very happy to have the ace. So we have now kind of a quacker hand, don't we? And so let's just say 5 clubs in north, just to get that out of the way. And you can see that after the 2 hearts reverses, oh my gosh, I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points. Yeah, my partner may have 19 points, but maybe not. So I want to slow this down. If my partner has 19 and 21, they're going to go on, even if I have 5 or 6 points. But I want to slow the auction down. So typically, if you were to bid 2 no trump, that's, 2 N, is telling your partner, I want you to bid 3 clubs. When your partner is open 1 no trump, you are now captain, because you know they have 15 to 17. In this case, I don't know if they have 17 or 21, that's a big range. They may think, hey, if I'm showing at least 6 points by making a call, if they've got 19, 20, 21, they're going to go to game. So they don't have to do what I say in this situation. This is an exception. So I bid 2 no trump. It's a request for a partner to bid 3 clubs. And after they have, I can now pass or correct it to another auction. If I bid 3 diamonds, so I want to play in diamonds, partner. Sorry about that. But so it's either, you know, pass or 3 diamonds. Obviously, we don't want diamonds. We only have a double 10. So we would pass 3 clubs and said, yeah, this is where we should be, partner. As you can see, if we're in 5 clubs, you look at the opening lead by East. No matter what they lead, they can set us and get an over trick. So, you know, yeah. So hard to make even 4 clubs in this auction where you've had that hand. So that is an example. And you want me to make it even worse, John, since you asked. So the question is, would 2 spades show a 6-card suit if I was, excuse me, rather than to bid no trump, 2 no trump? Come on, one more. I'm just going to use the eraser here. And go back to the pen tool. If I was to do 2 spades, does that promise a 6-card suit, or does it promise a 5-card suit? I think it only needs to promise a 5-card suit because my partner's twisted my hand between my back. And normally you would have a rebid of a suit promises a 6, but after your partner's done in reverse, you're saying, I don't know, partner. I just want to let you know about the suit. It doesn't have to be a 6-card suit. Anyway, you can see there is so much we could talk about in this, and at some point you think, you know, I think an hour in the subject, excuse me, an hour and 7 minutes on the subject is enough. So I'm going to let it end there, and I hope you enjoyed the show. And so I would just suggest to you is that when you have a 2-suited hand, not just a 5-4-2-2, but when you have something where your honors are in those suits, or maybe it's a 4-4-3-2 and your honors are only in those suits, just have a little bit of awareness. And if you say, oh man, I've got a jack 3rd in the 3-card suit, or even the double 10, maybe a queen double 10 in that suit, you feel a little bit better as that those are potentially half stoppers, not guaranteed. And so use those kinds of considerations when you make your bid. And, you know, as you see it come up, your style may change by the years based upon your partner, based upon the opponents, based upon how you feel, what type of scoring you're playing, and those types of things. And that's why these are indeed problem hands. I could give some others, but I think that's more than enough for today. So I hope you enjoyed the show, and thanks all for being there. And Robert, Patty, John, and I see some others up there. Really appreciate your participation on this, and have a great week playing bridge. We'll be back on Wednesday with for our members. So I think we're going to do more on what we did last week. So if you like that lesson, come back for more this Wednesday. And otherwise, we hope we can get some of these Friday things going now and then. If not, we'll try it for another day of the week for our free days. So thanks for coming. Peace out for now. As always, happy trails for you until we meet again. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Grace, did you want to come in? No, she says she's